This session, however, and this segment, I'll be focusing on a new Emigrate package that we've put together, which we have tagged the Settle in the UK as a tech talent. And for this package, for some of us that have seen the flyers and some of us that have seen details about the package so far, this package is available to you if you are a beginner or you're an expert in the field of technology. And so don't say, oh, I'm not in tech at all. I've never done anything in the field of technology. I'm not a programmer. I'm not a business analyst. I'm not a project manager. I'm not a data scientist. And so this is not for me. You're welcome into the room, and you can actually use this route and this package to relocate to the UK, even if you are a beginner in the field of technology. If you are an expert in the field of technology, however, that is also good, because that also gives you an edge. But you can use this package if you're a beginner in the field. Also, you can move with your spouse and dependents. And in some cases, what we do is that we would be speaking with you and your spouse, because in some cases, you or your spouse may be the best person to be the primary applicant in this particular route that we are talking about. It's available to you as well if you are interested in switching your visa. So for example, if you have moved to the UK on maybe the UK student visa, or you moved on the UK startup visa, and so on, this route is available to you as an option to settle in the UK. So you can use this route if you want to move, or you can use this route if you want to settle in the UK as well. You would need to have time and equity available to you for investment for this particular package. We're looking at an estimate of between £10,000 to about £75,000 of investment budget that we believe you will need for this particular package. And we also think you should need at least 3 months to 6 months if you are interested in this particular package. If you're interested in this package, you can just reach out to us on WhatsApp, or just fill the form on emigratevisa.com. And yes, we've heard that we don't talk about our successes enough when we talk about Emigrate. At Emigrate, in terms of direct successes, we have over 40 direct successes at the moment that has worked with us directly, engaged in our coaching sessions, and have been successful in landing one visa type or the other. With the US O1 visa, to the UK Global Talent visa, to the UK Startup visa, and several different visas that we've had successes for. Now, when I say Emigrate direct successes, I am talking about people that we worked with directly. And so we're not talking about many people that have attended our open day sessions, many people that we have seen in different countries of the world telling us to say, oh, we watched your videos, I saw some information from you, we got a free consultation from you, or a free coaching session, or a short inquiry session, or one of the open days, or one of the open consultation. We're not talking about any of those. We're talking about people who directly worked with us at one level or the other, and they were able to be successful in moving to different target of countries of the world, particularly the UK, but also different other countries of the world. We are really proud about our numbers at the short time that we've been engaging and short time we've done this as Emigrate platform. We are talking today about a package that we're put together for you. And as I said earlier, you don't need any previous tech background. We will work with you to become a tech talent. So if you're looking for the summary of this conversation and a summary of this particular package, it's very simple. We will work with you to become a tech talent, a globally attractive tech talent. You do not have to have that tech background. If you do, your journey will be shorter. You do not have to have startup background either as well. If you do, your journey could even be shorter. I think we'll work with you in this. And as I said, we can use this to move, or you can use this as a route to settle in the UK. I must mention that this is not immigration advice. This is not legal advice. And in fact, we are not immigration consultants. We are not legal consultants. We are not lawyers. We are also not endorsing body, right, in the UK. Instead, we do work with some of these entities that we have talked about just now, but we are not offering you legal advice. It's important for us to mention this publicly. We are also not offering you immigration advice. We are not qualified to do so. What we are is a tech platform. We're a technology platform that is able to connect you to coaches that are able to handhold you through a journey. We're able to provide the handholding, we're able to provide information, we're able to provide coaching, we're able to provide the logistics, the advice, and so on that you would need in terms of this particular journey. We do our partnerships as well. So we partner with immigration lawyers. We partner with different players in the industry. But it's important to mention that our unique selling point is the fact that we are bringing together a lot of information and a lot of things that are missing to the average person that needs this information. We found out that in our ecosystem and in our network, a lot of people do not even know that they do qualify for these visa routes that we are talking about. Some of them do not know that they could qualify for the visa route over a short period of time. And that is what we are able to work with you on, to say, you as an individual, you as a family, we're able to work with you to say, oh, fine, what visa route could you qualify for? Which one can we target, depending on your unique circumstance? Now, in terms of the specific visa, because a number of people, and we will go into as much details as possible in this segment, but we're hoping that you would have questions as well. If you have questions, please drop them in the chat, because we will answer as many questions as possible during this segment. In terms of the visa of focus, there are 3 key visas that we are focusing on with this package. With the Settle in the UK as a tech talent, there are 3 key visa pathways that we will focus on and we will work with you on. If you're asking me which specific visa are you promising me, we don't know, because it will depend on your unique circumstance. No 2 people are the same. You have some background, you've done some things in the past, you have some plans in the future, you have your interest, you have some of the things that you're currently doing, things you are involved in, businesses that you have invested in. We will look at all of those, and then we're able to chart for you the best roadmap for you that would have the triple guarantee that Emigrate is coming about for this particular route, which is the Settle in the UK as a tech talent. 3 key visas that we will be looking at: the UK Global Talent Visa, the UK Skilled Worker Visa, and the UK Innovator Founder Visa. So those are the 3 key visa routes that we will be targeting in different mixes, depending on your unique circumstance. For some of us that are not familiar with each one of these visa routes, I will mention that we have done open days focused on these visa routes. We've done at least 1.5 hours open days focused on this visa route, where we've drilled down and we've given a lot of information about each one of these visa routes specifically. So we've got open day recordings where you can go in and watch recording, drilling down and explaining the visa route. Our design for this particular open day is not to explain each individual visa. Instead, what we are trying to do is explain a package that Emigrate has come up with, a package that can help you to move to the UK and also settle in the UK. So that package is what we are focused on in this edition, to explain to you and try and give as much information as possible, rather than trying to explain each one of the visa routes. However, for some of us that may not be familiar at all, I will just give a few information about each visa route. And I'm hoping that if you're interested in this package, you will do your own research. You will check out some of these visa routes and understand the unique selling points on how Emigrate is able to help you to move and settle in the UK using this specific visa route. I will start with the UK Global Talent Visa. And this visa is available for people who have been able to show either that they are promising or they're an established talent, leading talent in the field of technology. And if you check, it is also known as the Tech Nation visa. So you can check online and you can get a lot of information about this visa opportunity. Now, for this visa, they're looking for, in terms of the UK now, the UK is looking for you if you've been able to establish yourself as a talent in the field of technology. If you have less than 5 years of experience, then in tech now, not less than 5 years of experience totally. If you have less than 5 years of experience in the field of technology, then you can apply as an exceptional promise. Exceptional promise means that, you will become in the future, you are likely to become a talent in the field of technology. And that's what we would focus on if we're looking at this settle in the UK as a tech talent package. But then there's also the exceptional talent visa as well, which is available. And as exceptional talent, you would have to show that you are already a talent in the field of technology. How can you show that in practice? They would look at things like, what kind of innovation have you been part of that has traction at this point? Don't worry if you don't understand some of the words I'm throwing about, because this is part of what we will be helping you establish around training and so on using this package. So traction, MVP, I may throw out a number of technical jargons. We're a tech platform at the end of the day, as I told you, right? The key thing we want you to remember is with this package, Emigrate will handhold you through the entire process. So yes, we are giving you as much details as possible so that you can go do your own research. We're giving you as much details as possible so that you can also take a look to say, is this something I want to do by myself? You can do it by yourself if you wanted to, right, as well. However, with the Emigrate coaches, with the Emigrate packages, with the Emigrate services, Emigrate community as well, we make that 10x, 50x easier for you. And that's why we're talking about it. And that's why we're giving as much details as possible. So that's the UK Global Talent Visa. The next visa is the UK Skilled Worker Visa. And with the UK Skilled Worker Visa, it is available to you if you are able to land a job that has certificate of sponsorship in your career track. Now, when we talk about tech, the question that may come up as well is that, okay, which part of tech are you talking about? It will depend on your unique circumstance. It could be the technical side of tech. So we could be talking about you as a programmer. You could be talking about you as a cybersecurity expert and so on. But it could also be the non-technical side of tech, the business side of tech. So as a business analyst, senior business analyst is one of the shortage occupation list roles. And shortage occupation list is basically a list of roles that the UK has looked at to say, these are roles that we don't have enough of in our economy at the moment. And so because these roles are on the shortage occupation list, these are roles that if I'm able to find, a company is able to find somebody that is in that shortage occupation, somebody that has a skill and the experience and the exposure for a role on the shortage occupation list, hire them from wherever they are in the world, and you can get them to move to the UK with their family. That is the UK Skilled Worker Visa. So what you need is to land a role that will offer you sponsorship in the UK, something called the COS, Certificate of Sponsorship. As I've mentioned, we have open days that are focused on each one of these routes. This one is around you landing a job. And we talk about our tech career coaching, and we talk about how we can help you land that role, because we have relationship with technical recruiters. We have relationship with people in established organizations that may be interested in your role, in your skill, because they need your skill as a tech talent. But then if you're thinking, oh, but I don't have any tech skills as at this point, then we will help you to gain the tech skills, gain the experience, gain the exposure that would help you to be a fit for those large organizations that are looking for your role at this point. And these organizations have the certificate of sponsorship. There are hundreds of thousands of roles at the moment. You only need one of those roles. Over 100,000 vacancies in the UK at the moment that have certificate of sponsorship. You only need one. And we will work with you and hold you for everything you need to be able to land that role that will come with certificate of sponsorship. The third visa that we would focus on with this package is the UK Innovator Founder Visa. And that used to be, there were two visas that were being crashed to become one now, which is the UK Startup Visa and the UK Innovator Visa. These were two different visa types. They have now become one visa type at the moment. With the UK Innovator Founder Visa, you no longer are restricted to say that you cannot work for any startup except your own startup. Now you can work for anybody else in the UK as long as you are actively building your startup. For you to be able to land this visa opportunity, you will need to have a startup that is adjudged by the endorsing body as innovative, viable, and scalable. That is what you need. And how Emigrate can help you is that we can work with you to build that startup itself. You need to also show that you're a genuine founder. Emigrate can work with you to build your skill to become a founder, building this skill itself that I've mentioned, building the startup. You also need to have that idea that solves a problem that will be innovative, viable, and scalable. And we will work with you as well to find a problem that you are passionate about. There are several innovations that are still yet to be developed in the world today. We will work with you to find that one that would be the one for you that you can work with. Now, you could say, oh, but you are talking about several things at the same time. Which one are you talking about? The answer is that it will depend on you. We could be targeting a combination of all three. We could be targeting one. We can be targeting two. We can be targeting each one of them. It depends on your unique circumstance. What we are saying with the Emigrate package, with this specific Emigrate packages, we will drill down into your profile. We will drill down into what it is that you are, what you have done in the past, what you are interested in for the future, particularly in the field of technology. Yes, you may not have any tech experience or any tech interest today, but every profession, whether it's accounting, whether it's law, there's legal tech now, whether it's agriculture or farming, there's agri-tech now, and so on. Every industry has an element of technology available to it. Every industry is waiting to be disrupted. In this year, we've been talking about Gen AI, generative AI, and there's several ideas that are coming out from that field alone that you can leverage on. Several. What this package is that we will work with you to become a globally attractive tech talent. That's what we'll be doing. Now, there are lots of details that we will be sharing, but I also am conscious that we don't want to lose you as our audience, because I'm saying several things and you are probably wondering, oh, which part of this will be for me exactly? And so if you ask questions, if you have specific questions, it would be helpful for us to be able to answer those questions that you have, so that you don't leave this room without the answers to the question that you do have. And if you are watching the replay video as well, same thing. You can ask the questions in the comments. You can ask us questions in the community, and we will be able to answer as many of those questions as possible. Moody, I'm hoping you let me know when my time is up, and I'll just keep talking until you let me know when my time is up. In terms of drilling down...
You're good with time. You're good with time, so you can go ahead.
Fantastic. In terms of drilling down further, and so just to recap what I've said so far, the Settle in the UK as an Settle in the UK as a tech talent package is focused on 3 key visa routes. Depending on your unique circumstance, will determine which one of the visa routes we will talk about for you, or it could be a combination of all of them. When I say a combination of all of them, what I mean by that is it could simply be a case where if you've been in tech for a bit and you're already working, maybe in startup, for example, then we could start working with you with building a tech startup for yourself, which could qualify for the Innovator founder visa. But at the same time, because you are building that startup, you may qualify for the UK Global Talent Visa, because your startup, if it has the right traction, and it can become your example of innovation. But at the same time, you are also building because you are able to land the skilled worker visa as a specific skill that you are applying within that startup. So it would depend on your unique circumstance. And it could be you, or it could be your spouse that we may be working with, or we could even be working with both of you as well. Our target is to enable you and your family to settle in the UK as a tech talent. But we are not asking you to pretend to be a tech talent. We want you to be a globally attractive tech talent, and then you are able to settle